Hello there, good evening and welcome to Business Brief here on TV3. My name is Michael Obodu. Let's check out summaries of some other business stories making the headlines today.
In business today, an energy analyst and CEO of Eureka Energy Solutions, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana, attributes the challenges at Tema Oil Refinery to political interference in its management and operations. This follows the resignation of the MD, Jerry Hinson, over the weekend on health grounds. Dr. Sulemana urges government to work to ensure that TOR becomes fully operational. The Data Protection Commission begins active enforcement of the Data Protection Act 2012, Act 843. This means businesses that have failed to register with the Commission as data controllers but are processing personal data are liable to summary conviction, to a fine or a term of imprisonment. The Russian ruble falls to its lowest value for 16 months, falling past 100 per US dollar. The decline comes as pressure grows on the Russian economy, with imports rising faster than exports and military spending growing for the Ukraine war.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Straight into our first story, our CEO of Eureka Energy Solutions, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana, has urged government to work to ensure Tema Oil Refinery becomes fully operational in order to refine crude locally. He noted TOR will ensure value along the value chain in the petroleum sector that will create sustainable jobs while saving the country huge amount of money the country uses in importing finished crude products.
Internal inefficiencies that are in the refinery, and just the inefficiencies are just emanating from the fact that we haven't had a stable leadership. If we have a stable leadership and stay off unnecessary political interference and give the leader some KPIs and key deliverables within a time frame for the leader to execute that. If the leader doesn't do that, then we have every right to sack the leader. We haven't done that. I see that we've not thought deep about why refinery is key to our energy security. In fact, refinery is key to our national security because it's equally linked to job security of populace. And we haven't, for once, thought of the fact that unemployment is a national security issue. As a nation, we haven't thought about that. And so if infrastructures or critical institutions that could even give first-line employable skills to teeming graduates, we don't see the necessity of bringing it back to life. Yet we are churning so many graduates into the space. Where are they going to work? When by our own, actions and inactions, we've left these critical infrastructures to rot. If you develop your oil and gas industry well, the kind of job creation is enormous. It cuts across every discipline. So why are we doing that to our own selves? I want to urge that we should begin considering unemployment as a national security for the nation. And if you have that in mind, then it will be in our best interest to let every manufacturing infrastructure to run. And TOR specifically, apart from the national security issue I'm talking about, it is key to our energy security. I've always mentioned that look at the quantum that we use to import finished products into the country. If the refinery is to run and run profitable, and it can be profitable if you want it to be, it's just that we don't want it to be, and we keep standing by saying refinery is not profitable, yet we will not leave it to be independent. If it's not profitable, then why is the interest so keen in the refinery? That means that it is profitable. You just don't want it to run.
Now, General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Samuel Ato Agre, says the use of taxes to control imports in order to grow local industries has not yielded any success. According to the association, the high cost of doing business in the country is the main reason for the poor performance of local industries.
Local industries need to thrive. Then what we need to do is to look at the things that make them almost impossible to produce at a cheaper cost. We are talking about the taxation that you will impose on these local industries, the electricity costs, which is not friendly at all, water costs, which is not friendly at all. Because now what we are hearing from them is that every quarter, or as the demand dictates, electricity costs may go up almost every now and then. So when it goes up like that, how does the local production or the manufacturers plan to ensure that whatever we are producing, we can meet the target that we have on the market. Unfortunately, if you are a country and every now and then utility tariffs and taxations are not stable, you won't be able to plan or have a long-term plan to propel you into water production or whatever a target that you need to meet.
Bank of Ghana show an oversubscription of about 15.4% with interest rates soaring across the yield curve. Government accepted bids worth about 3.5 billion Ghana cedis, although it targeted to raise about 3.065 billion Ghana cedis from the auction. A chunk of the bids came from the 91 bill as government accepted all the bids tendered, realizing about 2.5 billion cedis. For the 182-day bill as well, all bids tendered were accepted and 261.7 million Ghana cedis was realized at the end of the auction. For the 364-day bill also, it earned about 721 million cedis for government. Now, the Finance Ministry has revealed plans to issue a gross amount of 38.9 billion cedis in debt through Treasury bills for the period from July to September this year. This will be done solely through Treasury bills following the ongoing domestic debt exchange program. Meanwhile, Director of Business Operations at Daylex Finance, Joe Jackson, suggests government take steps to drive down interest rates on the Treasury bills.
It was negotiating the domestic bond exchange. So it didn't have access to international markets and it didn't have to local bond, and its only recourse to borrow money was short-term, 91-day, 182-day, and 365 and little to 65-day Treasury bills. The rate rose till it peaked over 30%. And then after some concern was raised by myself and other analysts, the rate crashed. But we are seeing the same thing happen again. And the rates have steadily risen from around 19% all the way now to around 29%, 29.25 for 365 day. And the same argument is there. How can a government that is unable to pay its debts on bonds that run for multiple years at a weighted average cost of 19%, now say that it is accumulating debt, short-term debt, for 91 days, 182 days, and 365 days at rates ranging from 22% to 29%? And the first question is, are we not just going through the same behavior that caused our economy to crash in the first place?
Let's now head to the currency market and find out how major trading currencies there are faring. So we're still seeing some relative stability there with the dollar. Let's see how it fares during the week. But from the currency market, let's go to the commodities market now. And cocoa, the price of cocoa is up by 0.88%. It's trading at about $3,381 per ton. The price of crude oil is down by 0.1%, trading at about $1,911 per ounce. Crude oil is also down by 0.78%, trading at about $86 per barrel. Well, that will be all for Business Brief here on TV3. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.
Oh, So 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen, right? In front of him, what's your name? Which year group is this?
My name is Papi Jackson, and I'm in year group 2002.
Papi, I know you from somewhere.
Yes, you do.
Last year?
Yeah?
Last year.
No, we weren't here last year. This is our first time coming.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we couldn't come last
But
year.
your face, you look